When I first moved to the Philippines, I moved to the city, okay? Cebu City, shout out to everybody in Cebu. And yo, I had thought I'd seen it all. But then, boom, Queenie gets pregnant with our first kid. Queenie says she wants to go home, okay, to be by her mama, like any responsible Filipina. I said, where's home? She said, the province. Dang! But moving to the province ended up being one of the best decisions I've made since I've been in the Philippines. And on this video, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you 7 things that I love about living in the province, and we're gonna talk about it right now. My first indicator that province life was better was actually when I was living in the city. Okay, you see, what happens in the Philippines is a lot of people that are from the province move to the city, but temporarily for financial reasons. There's more jobs and stuff like that in the cities, okay? But I noticed when I would talk to these Filipinos that live in the city, they would say they miss the province. And the things that they miss is the simple things. It's like when you leave your little country hometown in the province and you go to the city and you're thinking you're so cool, and then you stop and realize, hey, wait a minute. Nobody can make Siniglao like my Lola back home in the province. Now, for a foreigner, especially a foreigner who first comes to the city, right, in the Philippines, as I did, adapting to province life can be life-changing. Why is the Wi-Fi so slow? Where is this? Where is that? Why you guys have so many brownouts? You know what I'm saying? I was making a lot of complaints, okay? I couldn't find all the chaos that I had gotten used to in the city, right? But I could find vendors all over the place offering me balut like it was cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I actually tasted balut was in the province. In the city, I was eating like American food, eating Pizza Hut, eating McDonald's, eating all this stuff like that or whatever. But when I came to the province, I started eating home-cooked meals. Queenie started cooking a lot more, okay? When we were in the city, we weren't cooking nothing. And we had a whole kitchen with an oven and all this stuff like that. But the allure of just fast food in the city, just like, oh, I'll just get a burger. Oh, I'll just get some pizza. Oh, I'll just get this, just get that. But when we came to the province, she pulled out that daggone wok and that oil, and she started going to town, baby. Okay, that's when my rice intake went up too when I moved to the province. And it took a little time for me to adjust, but not much. Because after a few weeks in the province, something in me changed, guys. I wasn't stressing the small stuff no more. Even those big cockroaches that are on steroids in the Philippines, they didn't even bother me no more, okay? Now, I don't want them all in my house like that, but I started becoming kind of a country boy. You get me? And I've never been that. I've always been a city boy. But city boys don't know what they're missing when they come and deal with the simplicity, okay, of country living or of province living. Things that used to annoy me, right, start feeling like home. I used to be annoyed if I hear chickens cock-a-doodle-doo and all that. Guess what? Those chickens became my alarm clock in the province. When I hear cock-a-baba-yoo, I'm up. I'm like, oh, let's get to it. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go to the mercado. Let's do this. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going, right? It gave me it infused me with a whole new energy. That's the beauty of the province. I mean, you don't change overnight, but once that province mentality gets into you, you become more grateful, more chillax, right?
More Filipino.
Yeah, more Filipino, exactly.
In the best way possible.
Yeah, for sure. When I realized the natural beauty, okay, that the province has to offer compared to the city life, dude, I was sold. Because, okay, when we were living in the city, here's an example. When we were living in the city of the Philippines, you know, city life, you had to go real far to see all of the natural beauty, all of the waterfalls and the beaches and the this and the that. We had to go far. Dude, in the province, right, all of this beauty, all of these breathtaking views of the land of the Kababayan are right in my backyard. It's like when I go to these places, it really reminds me, yeah, I'm in the Philippines. Because when I was in the city life, I damn near, had my life set up like I was in America still. Okay, eating all American food or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I had to have the custom furnished condo, you know what I'm saying? TVs in every room, trash service, all this. I was very pampered, right? I didn't even take out my own trash, had trash service come, you know what I'm saying? But it was a very expensive life as well. Because life can be expensive in the Philippines depending on how you live, depending on what you do, and the services that you purchase in your life. Right? But when we moved to the province, I freaking simplified my life. I found beauty in the natural things of the Philippines. You ever wake up and look out your window and look at the scenery and it looks like a full-blown postcard or it looks like a screensaver or something? It just looks like it's not even real. Waterfalls that look so majestic, right? It looks like Mother Nature is flexing. Remember when we went to Mimbalud Falls that first time? I was so impressed. Remember I dropped my phone? Yeah, man.
How about the Maria Cristina Falls?
Oh my God, Mary Cristina Falls. You guys gotta see that. I've never seen a waterfall that big in my life, dude. They are so huge, dude. And you just look up, dude. And it's like, I'm a freaking ant, bro. Right? You really see the power of our Creator. You see the power of God when you are in the province, dude. And you also feel the water pressure too when they pull you up to it, because we got on a little boat. It was a little bamboo boat, and it had a rope that went all the way to the waterfall. And the guide, he puts you on this little bamboo float, and he starts pulling that rope, and it pulls you closer and closer. And as you get closer to that waterfall, you start feeling that water on your head. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. But then when you get closer, damn, this water's hitting me kind of hard. When you get closer, damn, it's hitting me hard. Then you get close. Oh shit, it's too. The water's just tearing your up. I got footage of that, but you feel the power, right, of a real waterfall. Hundreds of pounds of freaking pressure coming down on you. And then you realize, oh, I'm really in the Philippines. This is the real Philippines. Add in some untouched mountain views, palm trees swaying in the wind. What's my favorite?
Palm trees.
Oh, I love palm trees, dude. Like when we're driving to the beach or driving to one of these places, as you go deeper into the province, you start seeing more and more palm trees on the sides of the roads and stuff like that. And me, being a city boy myself from the Midwest, Ohio and stuff like that, I really didn't see palm trees. So every time I see these palm trees, I'm like, look, babe, look at the palm trees. And Queenie's like, yeah, I've been seeing them all my life. I'm like, dude, the palm trees is crazy. Looks like a freaking postcard. Because there's big lots on the sides of the road where you see hundreds and hundreds of these big palm trees just bending down into the road, dude. It's amazing. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Okay, and I'm 45 years old. I love it, man. I love the close community that you see in the province life. Okay, everybody knows each other. Everybody knows each other's gossip too. Damn! But no, that's besides the point. Queenie comes from a big, big family here in Mindanao. I'm not gonna say the name of the family, but every time I say who my girl is, they say, oh, she's my classmate, or oh, that's my cousin. I'm like, how many cousins you got here? Queenie be like, about 1,732. Okay, that's enough. Okay. You got a lot of cousins. I get it. Damn, right? In the city, if you want something built, you call a contractor. Okay. In the province, if you want something built, you call your tito and a couple of his friends and get them some soda, give them a couple dollars. Oh, they're going to build you whatever you want. I noticed that, right? Anytime you guys build something, I'd be like, oh, Queenie's like, oh, I have an uncle that's a plumber. Oh, I have an uncle that's an electrician. Oh, I have a cousin that's a carpenter. Oh, yeah, my second cousin is a welder. Wait a minute, you got every profession in your family. We're just going to make our own crew, right? A family, right? Familia. That is the most important thing in the Philippines, and not only in the Philippines, but definitely, okay, in the province. Why? Because the province is more poor, believe it or not, even though it has all this beauty, it is more poor than the city. People do depend on each other more in the province, right? And because of that, the fabric of the community is woven tight. Okay, even the kids got community vibes, right? Playing outside together, barefoot, right? Playing basketball barefoot on a dirt court. Okay, I mean, dude, it's nostalgia. It's like a throwback to the '90s, man. You know what I mean? And they don't mind playing in the rain either. Okay, they don't care. They play in the rain or in the sun. They're having fun, and that's what your childhood is supposed to be. Your childhood is supposed to be innocent. It's supposed to be fun, right? And it's supposed to be memorable. So when you have a childhood growing up in the tropical province of the Philippines, man, your senses are on 10. You know what I'm saying? Your happiness is to a whole other level because you have the family involvement, right? And the things that there are to do and the mischief that there is to get into is endless, right? So imagine the mind of a person who grows up in the province. Guess what? They're going to be strong when they go to the city to go get their money. Why? Because they grew up maybe a little bit tougher. This is the things that I observed. And listen, I've been living in the Philippines 6 years. I'm not just observing these things off 6 days of the Philippines. I've been living among the Kababayan for 6 years, man, of my life. The best 6 years of my life have been here in the Philippines. And I've been observing the big differences between living in the city and living in the province. Check this out. If you guys have made it this far in the video, do your boy a solid. As I always say, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like, of course, but the most important thing is what? What I'm gonna say. You know it. Hit that notification bell so you can always be updated when we're dropping new content on the channel, dude. Because this channel is all about my life, my experiences, and my crazy opinion about living here in the Philippines, aka the land of the Kababayan. And as Queenie always tells me, remind you guys about our new Facebook page. If you don't want to go through all the rigmarole and you know, I have to use my data to watch long YouTube videos and all that stuff. If you don't want to go through all of that, then we're on Facebook as well. The Facebook page is called Dean E. Hashim. The E stands for expat. Damn! Let's get back to it. The next one, and I always talk about this a lot, right? It's a lot cheaper. That's another thing that made me happy because my pockets was happy in the province. Okay? Now, the Philippines is cheaper than living in the Western world, you know, all around, but it's definitely cheaper in the province. I've noticed I've pointed out certain things that I paid for here in the province, right? And I would talk about it or you know, display it on my channel. And I would hear people that are coming from big cities in the Philippines say, hey, wait a minute, that's like 20 more pesos where I come from, or that's 10 more pesos where I live. And they're like, you sure you got the right price? I'm like, yeah, that's how much it costs here in the province, right? It's just way cheaper all around, you know, in the province, dude. If you're broke in the city, yo, is struggling. Okay, if you're broke in the province, it's kind of like you're just living a simple life. If you don't have a lot of money in the province, right? Oh, I ain't got no money for a condo. I don't have no money for a house. Okay, tell Tito, and then they're gonna build you a little house. Dude, what did your brother do? 18 years old, right? And this is her brother. Just had his first child. They didn't have nowhere to go. Guess what? The family came together, built them a house. Built him a house right then and there. Now his family has a place. It ain't a freaking mansion. It ain't the most extravagant house in the world. But guess what? They got shelter, right?
They have their own little house. They don't have to share with
Exactly, right? When you're in the province, as long as you have a strong family, you know what I'm saying, and a backbone, and you have the strong community around you or whatever, you can survive. You're gonna be okay. Because it's a little bit cheaper, it's easier. And of course, for a foreigner, it's super cheap, way cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I know people who, you know, $500 a month, they got huge, nice, dope houses. You know what I'm saying? Really, really nice houses. Like, okay, and by the way, 500 US is 25,000 pesos, or maybe less now, because I know the exchange rate is different, whatever. But yeah, that's about the amount of it or whatever. And I told you guys what I pay every month, 20,000 pesos, less than $400 American, right? And I got a 3-bedroom apartment, upstairs and downstairs. Yeah, In the city, that would probably cost me damn near what, double that. Because remember, we had a 2-bedroom in the city, and it costed us what, 40?
Yes.
So it did cost me double living in the city. But once again, as I told you, it was a luxury condo. Don't get in the comments and say, wait a minute, Dean, I don't pay that much in the city. No, when I was in the city, I was living in a luxury condo, fully furnished. So yeah, I was living like a spoiled brat. Okay. Right.
Just us, man, just you and me.
Yeah, but it was just me and Queenie. That was before we had kids. And we were living like teenagers, straight up, as I told you. Right? But yeah, here, it's a simple life, man. And the good thing about Iligan City, aka the city of majestic waterfalls, we kind of have the best of both worlds, right? Iligan City has a little bit of the city life, but mostly Providence. I get a little bit of the city life, but I get that cheap rent price. Damn! That I was looking for, okay? So I can save money, right? This next one I want to talk about is something that I talk about often, is peace. More peace. As I said before, I'm a disabled veteran of the Marine Corps, right? I went through a lot in my life. You know what I'm saying? When I came here, Queenie used to joke and say, you're shell shocked, man. You have PTSD and all this stuff like that. What is the best treatment for PTSD? The answer is removing yourself from the chaos and placing yourself in a peaceful place. That's why I love the province. Because I can go right down the street and I'm at a freaking beautiful, beautiful waterfall where the only sound that I hear is the water cascading off of the rocks. And I can sit there and I can think, right? And I can clear my mind. Then I can go back home a few hours later and just be right back to it. Like I just reset myself, right? That's like a reset button, or I can go down to the beautiful white sand beaches 20 minutes away from my house, right? And as I said, just sit back and chill and just look at everything, and it looks like it looks unreal. It looks like heaven, right? That is the proper medicine, or the proper tambal, as we say in the Philippines, for any kind of mental stress that you have, right? And PTSD from being a war veteran is a mental stress. It is a mental illness, right? But the Philippines is my medicine to heal, my spirit. And though it's 10,000 miles away from where I was born, wherever you find peace is where you find peace. It don't matter if it's thousands of miles away from where you were born, right? This is the place that changed my life for the better, because I was able to woosah. I was able to let all of that stuff go, all of that negativity, and just smile and enjoy myself, man. Right? Once again, the Philippines for me, as I say, was a life reset,
And babe, you always say it's less traffic too.
Less traffic, yeah. That was about to be my last one I was gonna talk about. When I first came here, remember, we were used to Cebu and stuff like that. And so when we got into the city, Queen's like, oh yeah, this is our city area. I'm like, this is the city? You only see a few cars riding by, whatever, a few people walking, whatever. It's not really like crazy like that, okay? And also, I think we got here on a Sunday, right? So it was super chill. Now, Monday through Friday or whatever, yeah, you got the estudiantes, you got the people going to work, whatever, but it's still kind of sparse compared to a really, really dense city like Manila or Cebu City, or these cities where there's thousands and thousands of people trying to go to work at the same time, okay? And even the little bit of traffic that we do get here, okay, in Iligan, I'll complain about it, and Queenie would be like, you want to go back to the city? I'm like, okay, never mind, you're right. She's like, yeah, because if you think this traffic is bad, how much more if we was in the city? I'm like, yeah. She was like, you'll be going crazy, right? Because sometimes, when there's a little bit of traffic backup, I get a little mad, like, hey man, hurry up, baby. And then Queenie's like, chill, man, because it could be a lot worse. We could be in a big city, then your freaking head would probably explode. You know what I'm saying? Because the traffic in the big cities are so crazy, right? Anybody who doesn't have patience is gonna go crazy, okay? I'm telling you. I like it, man. The province is for me. This is my favorite place for all those reasons that I told you guys. But the main thing is wherever you're happiest at, that's where you gotta go. That's where you gotta stay. You guys tell me in the comments, what do you like about the province? What do you like about the city? Which one do you think is better? Let me know in these comments. Let's get this conversation going, okay? Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, by the way, watch this video right here. And you know why. Why? Because YouTube says to watch it, dude. So watch it. Peace, guys. I'm out.